All right, buddy. So we got to talk about Peacemaker episode 4. And honestly, I gotta say, I had a really good time watching this one. I don't know, like this one really turned it over for me for some reason, which is what I said about Boba Fett also yesterday, was that the 4th episode really came in hard to me, and I think it's because the other 3 were just leading up to something, like nothing was really happening, and now like the premise of what's going on, and now they're expanding on it. And I guess some of the characters you can kind of like more now. I still think that like most of the characters in the show are very just unlikable people. This is by far the best episode so far. And one thing I gotta say is that I've always said like that I'm not like a really big John Cena fan. I thought he was pretty good in Bumblebee. And when I watched Suicide Squad, I was like, he did that pretty well. And I actually thought the Playing with Fire movie was pretty funny. In Peacemaker episode 4, I will say that John Cena has become an actor for sure. Like he's always like been good at acting, but like I've never seen him be vulnerable, I guess. And he actually showcases some emotion and vulnerability. And I want to say I'm sorry for what I've said in the past. I'm like, look at him, he's doing really good. Pretty much the premise of the episode is that he finds out that his dad is going to jail and he wants to go see him, but the team doesn't want to let him see him, and then a lot of drama occurs from there. There's the spoiler-free synopsis. Alright, so let's dive into spoilers so we can break this thing down. Opens up and they're in the van, they got Judo Master all tied up, and they're just kind of talking about the starfish thing. They're like, not the starfish, the butterfly. So they're like, this butterfly just crawled out of this dude's head, and then what? And then Peacemaker's like, I shot it. Duh. And they're like, well, it would have been nice, if you would have kept it to do some research on it and stuff. And he's like, oh, well, whatever. Judo Master makes a move, and then Vigilante both point their gun at it. Really funny. The intro happens, and that's never gonna get old. I love the theme song, it's so good. They get back, they tie Judo Master up, and Peacemaker decides he needs to go to his dad's house. He says there's a helmet there that he thinks that could help. So he goes there, they go into his dad's secret, like dragon cave or whatever you want to call it. And he grabs like 4 or 5 helmets, stuffs them in a bag, and he looks over and you see like the white dragon costume, and it looks pretty sick. I don't know if we're gonna get to see it like on somebody at all in this show or not, but it looked cool sitting there. He's got Vigilante with him, and they got this great relationship. It's just hilarious. There's a lot of good banter that goes on between them two. And I think Vigilante, the actor playing Vigilante, really does steal the show. In this episode, for sure, at least. The neighbor comes over and tells him that his dad's gone to prison. So he calls, what's his name, like Mern something. He's like, yo, what happened? And he tells him about the mix-up. And so now he doesn't trust them. So he's on his way to the prison to go see his dad. And they send Waller's daughter up there to talk to him, since they're the ones with the best relationship so far. Yeah, he goes in, talks to his dad, and it ends horribly. His dad's a horrible person, we've established this. And the things that he says to him is really heartbreaking. And he leaves, his heart's just broken. And while he's in there, Waller's daughter, I can't pronounce her name without reading it or hearing it, so I'm just gonna call her Waller's daughter, because I don't guess I know her first name. She was like hinting at Vigilante, like, man, it would really, probably help Chris a lot if his dad just wasn't around. And like, you see it click. So now this fool's decided he's gonna break into the prison and then kill his dad from the inside. And it leads to the funniest bit in the whole episode, to me, was him going and grabbing the trash can and pulling it towards the window. The whole time I was just laughing, like, I know what's gonna happen. I figured he was actually gonna break the window and like go in there, but it just kind of like shatters it, so like all the cops catch him. And he gets in there and like really just makes a lot of people mad, including the dad. And then the dad knows, so he knows about the whole mix-up thing. So he's like, "Get me a detective. I've got evidence on the whole thing." And so that's bad. Before this or after this, they go back to their base, and Judo Master had escaped. And there's this really cool fight scene between him and Peacemaker, and it's shot beautifully. You can tell it's not a green screen. You can tell it's actually outside. And there's like a storm brewing, and I don't know if like that was on purpose or if there's really a storm brewing and James Gunn was like, "Yo, let's go shoot this now." But it looks beautiful. It really does. It's like the color of like the green on the Judo Master suit and the red and yellow of Peacemaker with like the darkish rainy background looked really cool. I gotta say, that's like, it was very beautifully shot. And there, Walter's daughter ends up shooting Judo Master, but he's alive. He's gonna be alive, I think. I feel like I'm missing a chunk of this show. I'm not remembering right now. But there's this really good montage. What was the song playing over it? The montage was like really good. And that's like, in that whole montage you get to see some of Chris's backstory with his brother, and it seems like there's some really messed up stuff going on there for sure. Just the music, James Gunn really has a way with music in his stuff, I'm telling you. It ends with Waller's daughter finding something, calling Mern. That's what I'm gonna call him. I don't know if that's his name or not. And he's like, "All right, I'll be right there." Hangs up the phone, picks up his bowl of whatever it was he was eating, and then the talent comes out. He's a butterfly. I knew as soon as he hung up, he said, "All right, I'll be right there." I said, "Oh no," I just knew that's what was about to happen. So I don't know if he's been a butterfly this whole time, if he was just recently turned, and we just didn't see it, but it's very unfortunate. So I don't really know where next episode's gonna go. I imagine they might find out he's a butterfly, or they might not until towards the end. And they're probably gonna have to, interrogate the Judo Master guy. But this is a really good episode. And there were some references in there. Like I said, like Easter egg wise, there was the White Dragon suit. Joker is mentioned. The Riddler is mentioned. The Mad Hatter is mentioned. And Batman's even mentioned. There was also a gorilla that like escaped something on the news. So I feel like that's got to be a hint towards Gorilla Grodd, the Flash villain. I don't know. That's all the stuff I caught, but I'll be waiting on the new Rockstars video for sure. So those are all my thoughts and stuff that I caught. If I missed something, because I feel like I did miss something in the episode, leave it in the comments and I'll get to you on it. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the episode, and if you liked the show so far, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.